Before practice, after practice, heck, during practice, the long shot game from one end of the rink to the other is just plain fun to do. Often we do this in a camp setting, but it can also be done as a team at the end of practice for some fun. Start with two parallel lines on both sides of both creases in one or both ends of the floor, dividing players evenly. Have one player at a time step into the crease with a ball in one or both ends of the floor. For beginners, one net can also be pushed up to center floor as another option. On the coach's whistle, one or both players take a shot at the net in the other end of the floor, being careful to also get out of the way of the other player's shot if shooting from both ends. Same goes for all players standing beside the net. Players must not step onto any part of the crease line while taking their shot or they're disqualified. Variation number 1 is the do or die version. All players that score on their shot remain in a do or die or sudden victory format. For any player that misses, practice is over, or they can sit near the sideboards at center floor doing some static stretching. The most common error on this shot, which does have some game specificity, is players not following through properly. Overhand, overhand, overhand.
I don't see you. The one guy who used the technique that we taught you when we were shooting from the outside. Pointing, twisted. This is our one. Pointer.
Overhand all the way. Do you get an extra point if you hit him?
Variation number 2, teams, is the same as the previous variation, except two teams are playing against each other in a game up to 7 goals. The advantage of this variation is players get multiple opportunities to score if they miss. My tactic for this situation in a game was always an overhand, multiple bounce pass, aiming for the left post, with me being a lefty, and it always seemed to spin towards the center of the net when the ball hit the floor. The obvious caveat is that unless you have a clear lane to the net in a game, that wouldn't be possible, if you had to throw it over top of someone, for example. In that case, you would likely need to throw it in the air, which is variation number 3. The setup could be the same as either of the previous variations, except one or no bounces are permitted in order for the goal to count. This is the most game-like scenario, where the other team has pulled its goalie at the end of the game, going for last shot, likely after a timeout with under 10 seconds to play, them running a 6-on-5 play, hoping that even if the play doesn't work, that there won't be enough time for the opponent to score. Sometimes, however, they shoot too early, or a pass gets missed or picked off, and the defender finds himself in this situation where they have one last chance to huck the ball towards the open net.